Oftentimes we contemplate the momentous or the outstanding occasions in our life that have had a profound impact on us. And for myself, uh, I have a few instances that have had a deep um, impact on how I view life and how I associate my character into my surroundings. And I'll just share with you one brief instance. And this was when I was around, probably around 16 years old. I was with my father down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And he took me on an occasion on a ferry ride, a boat ride, out to an island. It's one of the barrier islands just off the coast of like Gulfport, Biloxi, um, places like that. There's a row of barrier islands, and I thought that was all well and cool. It was interesting. Um, I don't recall right offhand what the name of this island was, but we went there to visit a an old uh, wartime military base and or fort. It was a fort. Sorry, but that was it was a cool visit. Um, but the ferry rides out there are only from certain time to certain time, like any place. And so there was at least a good couple of hours before the boat was to come back in. And so we took the time to go to the beach. Now, granted, these barrier islands are not wide at all, and so you might have on some islands a tenth of a mile, others maybe a quarter mile, if not a half mile. But I remember it was interesting. We went to uh, the beach, and what I had done, I walked to the north side of the island, which obviously didn't take very long. But it's the island that faces the mainland, and I thought about getting in the water and stuff like that, and it dawned on me how disgusting the water was, um, because I guess that's where all the drainage goes is right there along the barrier islands, um, because it's primarily blocked from going out to sea, waste that is. But I saw the water. That's all well and cool. I wanted to see how far the mainland was and stuff like that. And I noticed, there's not a whole lot of wave action going on, things of that nature. So I decided to uh, go back to Dad and see what he was up to. And it was on the southern side of the island, the side that's facing the Gulf of Mexico. And it was absolutely stunning, the stark difference that I saw. Um, I had walked towards the arc of the end of the island, and when I got to the edge, it was amazingly weird experience for me. I look out towards the east on the water, and I could physically see the difference between the waters protected by the barrier and the open waters out to sea. And it was amazing. You have dark brown water, and you've got the blue water, and can I even to this day I continually reflect on that instance and the deep impact that had on me. At the time it was one of those, that's a cool thing, but it allowed a seed to be planted in my heart and allow me to continue to foster what I can learn from this. But I proceeded to go over to my father, and that's where the wave action was, and it was amazing. The water was vibrant. It was, um, to me, I'm from primarily a Nebraska, Iowa boy, and to see water like that was just amazing to me, and to see the stark contrast between that and the waters protected by the barrier islands. And it's interesting because when you're on the mainland and you're like on the beach of Biloxi or Gulfport or Mobile, Pascagoula, Harrison, you you get used to the water that's there. And try and follow me. If you've seen my other videos, you'll see this is how I think. But you get used to the environment that you're in, and you learn to accept what's been given you, and so therefore you're used to that Barrier Island water. You're used to calling that the ocean, though, but it's actually the protected water that's polluted. Um, Granted, and don't get me wrong, absolutely beautiful country down there. And if you're from the Midwest like me, and you're completely landlocked, any type of water looks beautiful. But you do get used to the environment that you're in. Now, what have I learned from this experience? Well, um, with all the difficulties that we tend to be encumbered with, it's more often than not, it's hard to see any further than what you have. Um, if you're having financial stress, it's hard to see beyond the environment that you have with your finances, your economy. And so the important thing that I was able to take away from that experience and continually learn from that experience is that no matter how hard your life is, there is a clean spot out there. There is something new and refreshing. There is a refuge, if you will, from your own personal storm. And that is a liberating knowledge. It is a liberating feeling to know that though you may not have the answers to how to get out of your little pickle, at least you can have enough faith and knowledge to know that no matter how you get around your situation, there is that spot out there that that is your happiness. And so, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have such a very simple mind, but and that might be why that experience was such a deep impact on my heart. Is for me, seeing Mother Nature at its best, showing me, slapping me across the face. I can't say bald head because back then I actually had hair, um, but showing me the difference between uh, stagnant waters that isn't going anywhere and continually being polluted, and the freedom of water, the freedom of the open ocean, cleanliness, things like that. And so, uh, and I've touched on this subject in my other videos, but this is probably one of the first that I have done where I've shared a life occurrence of my own that has had a profound impact on me. And of course, it was something that was shared with a family member, and that is always something that we as human beings strive and desire is a not only a connectivity with our life experiences, but something to share with your blood, your family, and that is important as well. It's those kinds of experiences that we can not only learn from, but also to continually retell the story onto your own children, your grandchildren, and so forth. And to and it's important to always find new truths uh, from your experiences, and not only new truths, but um, new ways to explain your occurrence. And I don't know. I would just challenge everyone to keep your eyes open, keep your mind and your heart open and mindful to your everyday situations. Because I promise you that at least once a day, you will have an opportunity to magnify a certain situation that will leave an impact on you and perhaps also on another person. And it's seizing those opportunities that we've been given um, that can make those most subtle yet most profound impacts in our lives. It can perhaps teach you how to better manage your money through a simple situation that you have encountered that day. Um, Perhaps it can improve your marriage, your communication through some simple little uh, instance that happened in that day that only you can extrapolate the information from, because there are no coincidences, and by and large, um, our lives are our own, and so are all those instances and occurrences that happen in our lives. And in a way, those are gifts to us to learn from. And it's just a matter of how open are we going to be to learn from these experiences that we have. And it's also, right along with learning is also sharing. Um, just like a school teacher, they have learned the information they have in order to teach you what they have learned. And so, if we are to make this world a better place, we need to be mindful of our surroundings. We need to learn all that we need, all that we can learn, but it is also our duty and responsibility to pass that knowledge on to a new generation so that these things can be used in their life. And so that's part of the reason why I use webcamming, um, to record my thoughts and my life instances to share with not only family and friends, but anyone out there who might be um, searching. So those are my thoughts for today on a very special occasion in my